This is Laozi's sixth teaching from the Ching. Let's take a look. When people see some things as beautiful, other things become ugly. When people see some things as good, other things become bad. Being and non-being create each other. Difficult and easy support each other. Long and short define each other. High and low depend on each other. Before and after follow each other. We start out with an interesting concept. When we see some things as beautiful, other things must be ugly, right? This isn't really how most of us see the world, but if we think about this for a minute, it actually makes perfect sense. Take a piece of clothing. You can say that one is more beautiful than another. If you try to wear both of them at once, you're going to stand out like a sore thumb because they don't match. So it looks like there are two types of clothes in the world. Those that go together and those that don't. There aren't really objective standards for what is or isn't beautiful. It's all relative. The same goes with ideas. If one idea is good, it implies that its opposite must also exist. Otherwise, you can't really even use the term good. In order to understand something, we always have to compare it to something else. The only reason you understand what good taste is because you've also tasted bad taste. You might think, well, obviously we need opposites to exist for us to be able to label them. But isn't there a hierarchy of importance here? Well, let's look at the next couple lines to see what Laozi has to say. Difficult and easy support each other. Long and short define each other. High and low depend on each other. Now, have you ever heard the phrase, every cloud has a silver lining? This means that every bad situation also has some good aspects to it. For example, your boss might pay you very little, but at least you have a job, and maybe you enjoy the work itself. Maybe the commute to work is long, but at least it's predictable, so you never arrive late. You get the point. Every situation has advantages and disadvantages. We just have to choose which ones we want to focus on. Laozi says that difficult and easy support each other. You can't have one without the other. But what about when one seems to cancel out the other? Like if you weigh out 5 pounds of meat and 5 pounds of feathers on a scale, it will stay balanced because their opposing weights cancel each other out. Does that mean that weight doesn't exist? Of course not. Their opposing weights exist independently of each other, yet they reinforce each other. Think back to the first time you experienced love. How did you know you were in love? Because you felt complete and whole. But who were you complete and whole in relation to? Your lover. Your state of being in love defined your state of being alone. And your state of being alone defined your state of being in love. Without one, you couldn't describe the other. They define each other. In the same way, we can't define the terms high and low independently of each other. If you didn't know the meaning of high, how would you know that the speaker was referring to low when he said high and low depend on each other? Understanding one gives meaning to the other. But what about before and after? One thing happens, then another thing happens. How do they depend on each other? Well, you wouldn't experience the second thing if the first one hadn't happened. It came before. Therefore, they depend on each other. Now that we've established that things come in pairs and define each other, Laozi says that the master acts without doing anything and teaches without saying anything. What does this mean? Well, it means that the wise person simply lets things happen while living in harmony with the Tao. She doesn't interfere or force outcomes. Instead, she just allows things to play out according to their natural course. She doesn't try to impose her will on others, and she doesn't try to control situations. Instead, she listens to the needs of others and helps by acting in accordance with their needs. She doesn't want to be right, she wants to be helpful. She doesn't seek to prove herself, she seeks to serve. At first glance it might seem like she's lazy or passive, but nothing could be further from the truth. Her inaction is actually full of energy, power and creativity. In fact, everything arises out of her beingness. Nothing arises out of her doing. She's fully engaged with life, but not attached to any particular outcome. Think about the river again. The river embodies the teachings of Laozi. It flows endlessly, tirelessly and patiently, wearing away the hardest rocks and carving the deepest valleys. Yet it never forces its way. It simply adapts to whatever terrain it encounters. It doesn't care whether it's flowing over pebbles or boulders, it just keeps flowing. And as it flows, it creates new life and sustains existing life. In the same way, the wise person sustains life, but without forcing anything. Things arise, and she lets them come. Things disappear, and she lets them go. This is why the wise person doesn't possess anything, not even her own enlightenment. She doesn't hoard it or guard it like a precious jewel. She doesn't try to hold on to it or cling to it. She simply lets it flow through her. When you truly understand the nature of reality, you realize that nothing is yours. Everything belongs to everyone. Laozi says that the wise person acts but does not expect. She takes action, but she doesn't expect a certain outcome. She doesn't complain if it rains, because she knows that rain is necessary for the growth of plants and trees. She doesn't complain if it is sunny, because she knows that sunlight is also necessary for the growth of plants and trees. She simply accepts whatever comes and makes the best of it. Why? Because she understands that everything arises out of the Tao, and everything returns to the Tao. When her work is done, she forgets it. That is why it lasts forever. She doesn't expect anything in return. She doesn't ask for recognition or praise. She doesn't try to control the actions of others. She simply does her best and lets the chips fall where they may. Do you see how deep and profound this is? She is selfless, yet at the same time she is the most successful person in the world. She is free, yet at the same time she is deeply connected to the world around her. She is detached, yet at the same time she is fully engaged. She is relaxed, yet at the same time she is overflowing with energy. She is calm, yet at the same time she is dynamic and creative. And how does she achieve this state of being? By letting go. She lets go of her need to control. She lets go of her need to be right. She lets go of her need to be happy. She lets go of her need to be anything. And in doing so, she becomes everything. This is the 6th chapter of Laozi's Tao Te Ching. Remember, when her work is done, she forgets it. That is why it lasts forever. If you enjoyed this video, please consider supporting us. Also check out our other videos. Thank you and have a great day. Oh, and one more thing.